Hello, this is Michael, director of Jollyville Radio. You know, we value having a short show here, and that means that sometimes when our community beat interviews go fairly long, we have to cut them down in order to make time. But sometimes those interviews are just really interesting. So we wanted to try a new thing and offer to you the full unedited interview as a bonus episode. So here we are. This is the full Community Beat original interview with Mary Carter from the Women's Intercultural Center in Anthony, New Mexico. We hope you enjoy.
All right. This is Jollyville Community Beat with Uncle Asar, turning the spotlight on good people doing great work in the real world. Our guest today, Mary Carter. She's the executive director of the Women's Intercultural Center in Anthony, New Mexico, a holistic program helping women unlock their undiscovered potential. Hey, Mary Carter, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Before we get started, and you telling us about the really good work that you do with women and mothers, could you highlight some of the center's origins? I think people will find it very interesting and inspiring.
Well, actually, the center started in 1993 by 3 Sisters of Mercy and 13 women of the Anthony community. The Sisters of Mercy came from Omaha, and they wanted to work with women in the border communities. And as they worked with them, they discovered that a center was needed. And initially, though, the 2 Sisters of Mercy were up in age, and they didn't believe they could start something as big as the Women's Intercultural Center. So when they were going to meet with 13 women, they were going to say no to the project. Except that as Kathleen, Sister Kathleen, was thinking about it, she was sitting across the street on a bench across where the church is. And she was thinking and processing, how do you tell the women that you're not in this project? And she saw a young woman, about 17 years old, walking with a child, pushing the child in the stroller. And she was crying. And she looked at her, and she kind of figured that they would exchange pleasantries, and she would figure out what was going on. And the young woman told her that her husband had come home drunk again. And she didn't know what to do. She was alone. She was a migrant, an immigrant in this community, and she didn't have any friends, family, who to turn to. And it's at this moment in time that Kathleen realized that it was so important to create a center for women. And she convinced Camilla to do it. So Camilla was the force behind the creation that actually did all the incorporation, did all the fundraising to get our facility getting started. And Kathleen became the face of the center at the beginning in 1993. And it's pretty interesting since then. It's been quite a few rides. We went from just serving the women, 35 women of the Anthony community, and now we serve over 2,300 women throughout southern New Mexico and West Texas.
And you work with women regarding a number of issues: education, economics, counseling. You have a counseling service. You also operate a emergency food pantry and thrift store. What's your staffing situation, and how do you get some financial support for these programs?
Well, actually, we're a full-run volunteer operation. All of us are volunteers. We really believe in what we do. We are self-funded, which means that we create our own venues of enterprise to raise funds for the operations of the center. We actually also have different donors that actually do give. We actually teach our community to give back. So all our community members that are from within this area that know about the center give back to the center in some way or the other. Many of them are more able to donate through our thrift store. So they donate items to the thrift store. So those items are utilized to be distributed to anybody that needs something, or needs clothing, pans, dishes, whatever we have available. And the other options also is donating food to our emergency food pantry. We also have a perishable food distribution, which actually we partner with our local KFC. So we give out on a weekly basis, KFC chicken, mashed potatoes, biscuits. And then we have other donors that come in and donate other perishable food, which is our participant base and so forth, or the local Anthony Food Farm. that will add up some vegetables. So it's kind of like stone soup, you know, everybody comes in and gathers together and brings what they have. And so that gets distributed to the people that are in need every Thursday at 11. And again, our emergency food pantry. A lot of our funding, our major funding really comes from our border awareness experience. And that's really the major funding of the center, which is bringing college, undergraduates, graduate students, and even high school students to come in and learn about border life and border culture. So they get to learn what it is, immigration issues, health, how health is dealt with, education, whatever they really want to learn. So they get to experience a lot of different things. And specifically if it's happening, you know, whatever is happening at that particular time. So they get to sit at the table with Border Patrol. They actually have, we have a great partnership with Border Patrol. And we do the what we call a border tour, and they end up doing what they do for diplomats and special VIPs. So they get the full tour of actually seeing what really happens behind the lines, so they have better understanding. So we educate them on a lot of different areas because we truly believe that in order to make effective choices, you have to have the full picture. You can never convince somebody else of something if you can't really relate and understand where they stand. So that's how it works. And the best part of it that we really enjoy of it is that we really teach them that if you really want to change something, you need to change policy. So you need to go to your local leaders, your state leaders, your federal leaders, depending on what you want to change and how to push it and how to do it. So that's really the best part about it. And, you know, we make a lot of friends. They come with us. They stay with us for like 2 weeks. So they really are immersed within our community and get around. And we also do some tourist stuff, like going out to the mountains and hiking, because we have some amazing mountains, the Oregon Mountain Desert Peaks, which is actually a national monument. And they get to hike and they get to explore the city of El Paso, which is actually the Ellis Island of Mexico, because that's where everybody comes in through. And so, you know, they get to experience a lot, get to meet a lot of the people. So it's lots of fun for all of us. And to be truthfully honest with you, that's what keeps me young, because they're all so young students. So they just kind of inspire life into me. And then I get to see how the future generation gets to get built. We contribute to them moving on and doing some great things.
Now you have something called the WINGS process, WINGS. Mary, describe this for us.
Well, it's sort of like when you give somebody wings, it's really like our center is quite unique. I mean, we do have specialized, we have programming like everybody else, but we also work with women independently to reach particular goals. So whatever challenges or barriers an individual is having, we work with them in order to transition them into overcoming that. Because we transition women from survival mode into thriving. And what thriving does is when you stop just living for survival and you finally attain that self-sufficiency and you're able to focus on other things. You're able to focus on additional opportunities for your children. You're able to focus on your own dreams that you want to accomplish. And you're able to go ahead and start looking at your community as a whole and see how you're going to participate in it. So our WINGS program is a combination of alternative education, economic self-sufficiency, and consciousness raising for change.
Where can we find you on the web, Mary, to learn more about the center and make donations to this very noble thing that you're doing out in West Texas?
Well, you can actually reach us at www.women'sinterculturalcenter.org. And right there, you'll have the donation site. You can click on the donate. You know, we created various options for people to donate through Amazon Smile, to donating directly, to donating to our thrift store, our food pantry. So we have like all these different venues that people can donate just even by shopping or searching the web with Good Search. So it leaves a lot of opportunity. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Does that web address have any spaces or underlines or dashes in it?
No, it's straight out. www.women'sinterculturalcenter.org.
Mary, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you, and we wish you the best of the best.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, Asar.
This has been Jollyville Community Beat with Uncle Asar. And dig this, no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. Peace.
Hello, this is Michael Crosa from the Jollyville Radio podcast, and you know, these days it is so important to be able to laugh, find connection with others, and be reminded of the power of community. That's why some friends and I got together to make Jollyville Radio, a short and uplifting fiction podcast, which is set as a radio show in the town of Jollyville. In addition to telling stories and interviewing characters from the town, each week we also learn about people doing community building work in the real world. I so hope that you'll have as much fun listening to our show as we have making it. You can find us on most podcasting platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or just on our website, jollyvilleradio.com. I hope to see you in Jollyville soon.